Hello everyone, it's Badge on the Burst Movie Reviews, and today I am reviewing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I was a little bit skeptical going into Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, especially when it was first announced, because Disney has now owned 20th Century Fox, and it was a movie that was not necessarily created by Disney in the first place, at least the previous trilogy. And with the director Wes Ball, who has only really been known for doing the Maze Runner movies, I did not have high hopes. I know I was somewhat optimistic, but mostly I was very skeptical. And boy, was I dead wrong. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is fantastic. Alright, let's start with my positives for this movie. Number one, the visual effects. The visual effects were fucking amazing. They were, in my opinion, maybe I'm giving this a little bit too much credit, but Avatar: The Way of Water level visual effects. It was like they were actual apes that had learned to become more human and all, and like it was like you were exploring this world that was like unknown to us, and I really liked that. Another thing I really liked was Noah, the main protagonist of this apparently new trilogy. And yeah, like he is a protagonist that you can definitely root for all throughout the film. He goes on this epic journey to find and rescue his clan that was stolen and kidnapped by other apes. And it's an epic journey you definitely don't want to miss. Another thing I really enjoyed were the callbacks to the original film that came out in the late 1960s. You'll see them if you've seen the original, you will get the references, like some of the statues, soundtrack pieces, the beach, everything. If you are a fan of the original, you are very blessed and will be joyed by all the Easter eggs that are callbacks to the very original, which is also one of my favorite sci-fi movies, is the original. Another thing I really enjoyed was the presence of Caesar was felt all throughout the movie. He was definitely all throughout it. You could tell, even though his character was not a part of it, you felt Caesar's presence all throughout the movie, based off his teachings, his words, his ways, etc. And what I really want to praise is the character development. The character development was also, I thought, was really good, and definitely needed, especially for a new protagonist. For a new protagonist that we know nothing about, I thought the character development was excellent, and I am rooting for him all throughout this trilogy. Unless he turns evil. But we may never know that until later. Now, what I have seen are some people complain that the movie did a little bit too much, especially when it comes to balancing the character development and the pacing. Do I think it was too much? No. I think it might have gone a tiny bit too much, but overall, I feel like it was an excellent balance between character development and pacing. Now, how do I compare this to the previous trilogy? Well, even though this is only the first film, you cannot really compare one film to an entire previous trilogy. But overall, though, you can tell it is definitely different than the previous show, like entirely different in terms of tone, visuals, obviously the protagonist, and everything. It feels, well, it does have some of that dark, like, presence, or a dark feeling. It's not as dark as, let's say, Dawn and War for the Planet of the Apes was. This movie definitely has that brighter tone, but it also has that dark tone. But overall, there is a in my opinion, a brighter tone with this film. My only negatives with this film is that it was slow at some points, but overall, I thought it was a great film. It's been one of the most anticipated year, and it did not let me down at all. I was very pleased to watch this movie. When it comes to ranking this film with all the other, this is just my opinion, in my opinion only. You can put your own opinion in the comments, but when it comes to my opinion of ranking this with other superhero/adventure movies that come out this year that I've seen, Doom Part 2, Kung Fu Panda 4, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and Godzilla X Kong New Empire, I feel like, in my opinion, this movie tops them all. And I know that may come as a shock to those of you who love Doom Part 2 way more. I'm glad you loved it more. I did not really like it as much, and maybe that's just me. But right now, my ranking for superhero/action films, superhero/adventure films, is at the bottom of the list is Doom Part 2. Then there is Kung Fu Panda 4, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Godzilla X Kong New Empire, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is at the top of the list. So, anyway, how do I rank this as a movie critic, as a casual fan, and as a cinephile? Well, let's see what I have to say. As a critic, I'm giving the movie 8.5 out of 10. As a cinephile, and by what I mean by cinephile is the way that I am, like, out of all the movies that I've seen this year, out of 10, what do I give this movie? Definitely giving this movie 10 out of 10. It is one of the best movies that I've seen this year by far. And I've watched quite a bit of movies this year. And what do I give this movie as a casual cinema goer? I would say 10 out of 10. I think people are definitely going to be pleased and surprised and entertained by this movie. I think people are going to be more entertained than they thought they would be. And I hope this encourages you all to go out and see the movie yourself. Anyway, this is Bad John the Bros Movie Reviews, signing out. Bye. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.